Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
I'm your host, Mirko Peters. We explore how data science and AI drive real business impact, straight from the leaders making it happen. Today's episode is a focused C-level playbook, AI in M&A, how to evaluate, negotiate, and integrate AI assets so the deal actually delivers the promised impact. If your team is buying or selling capabilities that include models, data pipelines, or analytics platforms, this episode is for your boardroom, your legal counsel, and your data leadership.
Why now? Because AI and analytics are no longer a peripheral feature. They're often central to product differentiation, customer experience, and cost structure. That changes how you value an acquisition and how fragile the post-close roadmap can be. Over the next 23 minutes, I'll give you concrete diligence questions, negotiation levers, and an integration checklist that you can use on the next deal.
A bit of context from my experience advising deals. I've worked with buyers and sellers across enterprise software and data-driven services, from growth stage firms to public companies. Typical buyer pain points include opaque model performance, partial or undocumented data lineage, and organizational mismatch on ownership. Sellers often undercommunicate operational controls or overstate production readiness. The asymmetric value shows up when a small, well-tuned model or a unique data asset can lift revenue by percent points or cut costs meaningfully at scale, but only if integrated correctly.
Let's get specific. A practical due diligence checklist you can use at the term sheet stage. First, models and code. Require reproducible benchmarks on held-out data and a snapshot of training code, hyperparameters, and dependency manifests. Validate the training data sampling strategy and any augmentation logic. Second, data lineage and provenance. Demand documentation of sources, transformations, and retention policies, plus access controls and data sharing agreements. Third, operational controls. Show me monitoring dashboards, alerting rules, rollback procedures, and runbooks for incident response. Fourth, security and privacy. Confirm encryption standards, data minimization practices, and evidence of recent privacy impact assessments. Fifth, third-party components and licensing. List pre-trained components, open-source libraries, and commercial models with their license terms. Finally, people and knowledge. Identify key engineers, owners, and product SMEs, and map out knowledge transfer windows.
On valuation, move from anecdotes to measurable contributions. Build simple, defensible models that map AI capabilities to P&L. For revenue-derived value, quantify how the model improves conversion, reduces churn, or increases average order value, and translate that to incremental revenue over a reasonable horizon. For cost-derived value, measure automation impacts. How many FTEs or manual hours are replaced, and what is the sustained savings after integration costs? Stress test assumptions. What if model performance degrades 10 to 20%? Use scenario analysis and embed contingent pricing where uncertainty is material. Earnouts and escrows are not a failure. They are pragmatic ways to align incentives and protect buyers from overstated claims. Legal and IP considerations are non-negotiable. Confirm ownership of training data and labels. That's often where hidden liabilities hide. Require representations and warranties around data subjects, consent, and regulatory compliance. If the asset uses third-party models or external data feeds, ensure licenses permit your intended use and cross-border transfers. Negotiate escrows for model artifacts and documentation so you can restore or retrain if the seller cannot or will not support post-close. And when the model materially drives revenue, consider structured earnouts tied to verifiable business metrics rather than raw model accuracy numbers.
Red flags that should change deal posture. No reproducible evaluation, undocumented data lineage, reliance on precarious third-party services, concentration risk where a single engineer holds tribal knowledge, and no evidence of monitoring or rollback processes. If you see two or more of those, you either reprice, add remediation milestones, or walk away. Importantly, document remediation responsibilities clearly in the SPA with timelines, acceptance gates, and financial protections. Now, the integration playbook. Because diligence only buys you a roadmap, execution captures value. Start with a single integration owner accountable for delivering measured impact, not just migrating code. Define the minimal viable integration that delivers measurable P&L uplift and set a 3 to 6 month cutover gate. Align product, data, and engineering incentives by tying short-term bonuses or retention to delivery milestones and operational KPIs. Establish a post-close governance forum with weekly operational reviews in the first 90 days, moving to monthly after stabilization. Prioritize reproducibility. Freeze a canonical model artifact, containerize runtime, and standardize CI/CD and retraining pipelines. Pair the seller's engineers with buyer squads for knowledge transfer sprints and create runbooks and playbooks for incidents.
Retention is both practical and cultural. Offer short-term retention bonuses for critical contributors and define explicit handover responsibilities, but also be honest about org structure. Will the acquired team integrate into an existing analytics organization or remain a product-aligned pod? Clear reporting lines and career paths reduce churn. Track knowledge transfer via milestones, completed documentation, executed runbook drills, and paired production runs, not just calendar time.
Looking ahead, emerging integration patterns emphasize platform-first integration and hybrid ownership. Expect more acquirers to adopt MLOps platforms to quickly onboard acquired models into standard pipelines rather than bespoke rewrites. Long-term risks include accumulating technical debt when models are rushed to production, model drift from shifting data, and compliance surprises as regulations evolve. Prioritize 3 things in the first 12 to 24 months. Stabilize the model in production with monitoring and rollback. Validate the realized business impact against your valuation model, and close policy and compliance gaps with audits and documented remediation.
Before we close, 2 short actionable checklists you can use immediately. Diligence must-ask items, reproducible benchmark and training snapshot, full data lineage and consent evidence, operational runbooks and monitoring history, third-party license inventory, and identified key personnel with retention commitments. Top 3 integration KPIs, verified P&L delta tied to the model, revenue lift or cost savings, mean time to detect and remediate model incidents, and post-close retention of critical contributors through the cutover gate. That combination aligns contract protections, execution focus, and measurable outcomes.
Final reflection. Deals that buy AI should buy certainty where possible and price uncertainty where it remains. Use contractual levers, operational gates, and clear ownership to turn a purchased model into sustained business value. That's the difference between models and value. If you found this episode valuable, subscribe and share it with your network. And let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm Mirko Peters. We'll be back with more conversations on how data science and AI create real business impact. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.